Page number 426, exercise 82. First, combine into simple by using participles. First, a thief entered into the room. He had found it empty. Second, he did not help me. He was angry with me. Third, he was disappointed of the pizza. He was very much upset. Fourth, he finished his work. He left for home. Fifth, he wandered about from place to place. He had lost the way. Sixth, he was warned of his danger. He escaped unhurt. Seventh, he stood up to speak. He had determined to oppose the bill. 2. Combine into simple sentences by using infinitives. First, he has a car. He wishes to sell it. Second, I went there. My object was to help him. Third, he has a large family. He must maintain it. Fourth, I shall never do it again. I am determined. Fifth, his misery is very great. He cannot bear it. Sixth, I have many friends here. They will stand by me. Seventh, you must succeed in life. I expect this of you. Third, combine into simple sentences by using adverbs or adverbial phrases. First, he reached the spot. It was noon at the time. Second, you were not present there. This was unfortunate. Third, he will return to us. He will not be long away. Fourth, I wanted to come to you in time. I did not stop on the way. Fifth, he neglected the work. It was his intention to do so. Sixth, the work must be finished. There should not be much delay. Seventh, I tried to win your sympathy. I did not get it. Fourth, combine into simple sentences by using absolute phrases. First, my father was ill. I had to do everything myself. Second, money is tight. Business is suffering. Third, the meeting was over. The members dispersed. Fourth, the garrison had to yield. Their provisions had run short. Page number 427. Fifth, we dared not move out. The sky looked threatening. Sixth, the bell rang. The boys entered their classes. Seventh, my sister is married. I have none now to care for. Fifth, combine into single sentences by using nouns or pronouns in apposition. First, Alexander was the king of Macedon. He invaded India. Second, Sri A. Sen is the district magistrate of Havra. He presided over the meeting. Third, the Himalayas are the highest mountains in the world. They are on the north of India. Fourth, Sri Muhammad Iqbal was a Punjabi. He was a great poet. Fifth, the Quran is the most religious book of the Muslims. It was revealed to Muhammad. He is the prophet of Islam. Sixth, your son is a mere lad. He could not compete successfully with my son. My son is older by 5 years. Seventh, Rabindranath Tagore is the greatest poet of the modern world. He was a Bengali. Sixth, combine into simple sentences by using prepositions with nouns or gerunds. First, I have rented this house. It belongs to my friend. Second, she has died. She was suffering from typhoid fever. Third, he was ill. He was not able to go to school. Fourth, I examined the paper. It was found to contain many mistakes. Fifth, he made many attempts to succeed. Still he failed. Sixth, he has a glorious past. No one can doubt the honesty of such a man. Seventh, I had to struggle for life. Nobody helped me in any way. Eighth, he resigned his post. In this way he avoided dismissal. 563. But in the practical field, we have to combine the different processes for the conversation of 3 or more simple sentences to 1. First, I was ill. He heard of it. He at once went to the doctor. He did not await instructions from me. Answer. Hearing of my illness, he at once went to the doctor without waiting instructions from me. Second, my brother completed his studies. He was 22 years old at the time. He then began to practice. He joined the High Court. Answer. On the completion of his studies at the age of 22, my brother began to practice in the High Court. Third, the boy was healthy. He was also strong. So, it was not difficult for him to lift the load. It was only 15 kilograms. Answer. It was not difficult for a healthy and strong boy like him to lift the load of only 15 kilograms. Fourth, a meeting was held in the town hall. It discussed matters about school discipline. You were absent from it. I am sorry at this. Answer. I am sorry at your absence from the meeting held in the town hall to discuss matters about school discipline. Fifth, a fire broke out in the bazaar. It broke out on Sunday last. It broke out at about midnight. It destroyed some 70 sheds. All the belongings of the sheds were destroyed. Answer. A fire broke out in the bazaar on Sunday last at about midnight, destroying some 70 sheds with all their belongings. Sixth, Alexander the Great invaded India. He was king of Macedon. The invasion took place about 327 years before Christ. He conquered all the countries between Greece and India. This he did on the way. Answer. About 327 years before Christ, Alexander the Great, king of Macedon, invaded India, conquering on the way all the countries between Greece and India. Page number 428. Seventh, the life of Scott was noble. He was the father of the English historical romance. His life was brought to a close. It was due to strain. This strain was severe. It was put upon his health. Answer. The noble life of Scott, father of the English historical romance, was brought to a close by the severe strain put upon his health. 8th. The sun set. I then went out. My friend accompanied me. We walked on the bank of the river. It flows below the town. Answer. The sun having set, I, accompanied by my friend, went out for a walk on the bank of the river flowing below the town. 9th. The children came to the garden that afternoon. They found the giant dead. He was lying under the tree. He was all covered with blossoms. They were white. Answer. Coming to the garden at that afternoon, the children found the giant lying dead under the tree, all covered with white blossoms. 10th. I heard a loud noise. It was like the bursting of a bomb. It came from a house close by. This was followed immediately by cries from many voices. All this happened a few minutes after my arrival. Answer. A few minutes after my arrival, I heard a loud noise like the bursting of a bomb in a house close by, followed immediately by cries from many voices. 11th. A meeting was held on Saturday last. It was held in the college common room. Our principal presided on the occasion. It mourned the death of Ramanikant Basu. He was one of the best boys of the college. Answer. A meeting was held on Saturday last in the college common room under the presidentship of our principal to mourn the death of Ramani Kant Basu, one of the best boys of the college. 12th. I saw an old man. This was on my way to school. He was poor. He was also bent down with age. He was standing at the door of a house. It was near your friend's house. The man asked for alms. Answer. On my way to school, I saw a poor old man, bent down with age, standing at the door of a house near your friend's, asking for alms. 13th. Byron had certainly some of the qualifications of a great poet. He had an unusual command of language. He was a keen observer of nature. He had an accurate knowledge of men and manners. Answer. Byron had certainly some of the qualifications of a great poet, an unusual command of language, a power of keen observation of nature, and an accurate knowledge of men and manners. 14th. He was a short-built lad. He was apparently 15 or 16 years of age. He was dark in complexion, but he was very handsome in features. He had beautiful white teeth and large dark eyes. Answer. He was a short-built lad of apparently 15 or 16 years of age, dark in complexion, but very handsome in features, with beautiful teeth and large dark eyes. 15th. The king spent the following year in Normandy. He desired to strengthen his position there. He desired to secure the succession of his son. The son was then 18 years old. Answer. The king, desiring the succession of his son, the 18 years old, spent the following year in Normandy in order to strengthen his position there. Page number 429. 16th. The prince won a great victory. The king heard this. He was very glad. He came out of the capital. His object was to greet the returning hero. He was accompanied by the courtiers. Answer. The king, very glad to hear of the great victory won by the prince, came out of his capital with the courtiers to greet the returning hero. Exercise 83. Combine each set of simple sentences into one simple sentence. First, he passed the examination. No one expected him to do so. He came out at the head of the pass list. Second, the peasant made his bow. The landlord had nothing more to say. The rent was then fixed. Third, the sun rose. The fog disappeared. He found no reason to wait. He proceeded towards home. Fourth, the miser laughed. He found himself richer by a paisa. He saw his rival outwitted. Fifth, the boy was being drowned. He shouted for help. A workman heard the boy's shouts. He plunged into the river. He risked his life. Sixth, we had taken a long journey. We were all tired. We rested for a while. Then we set to the task. That task was assigned to us. Seventh, a thief entered my room. He had broken open a window. This happened last night. It was about 2 a.m. 8th, all of us have duty. It is to love our fellow men. It is also to help our fellow men. This should be to the best of our power. 9th, I felt curious to know the details of the case. The curiosity was natural. The case had created a great sensation. I had been away from the town. An urgent business call had taken me away. 10th, I was on my way to school. I met him on the street. He was playing with your brother. This was on Friday last. 11th. The king was unfortunate. He was confined within a prison chamber. It was narrow. His misery rose feelings of grief in all hearts. These hearts might have been very hard. They might have been very cruel. 12th. The king reigned for 40 years. It was a glorious reign. It was also bright. He then decided to renounce the world. His object was to pass the remaining years of his life in prayer. 13th. I saw his father. He was a retired headmaster. I requested him to help me with his advice. The advice was about the best way to prepare my son for life. 14th. It was a dark night. He set out from home. He did this in disguise. His object was to escape into Germany. He wanted to fight from there for his country. 15th. Napoleon was the first emperor of the France. He was a great soldier. He inspired his soldiers with the most warlike spirit. This was the cause of their many victories. 16th. We felt tired. We wanted to get back home as early as possible. We paid the boatman his due. We returned to Sri Serampur. The return journey was made by bus. 17th. He is an idle and careless boy. The other boys in the class are not so idle and careless. The report was to this effect. His father received the report. He was grieved to get it. 18th. Frederick was king of Persia. One day he was seated in his private room. A petition was brought to him. It was accompanied with a request. The king was requested to read the petition immediately. 19th. It was evening. The sun was setting. At the time the prince was seen, he was going to the main gate. This gate led into the palace. 20th. Riches take wings. Reputation falls to pieces. We have a single friend. He is constant in his love. He never deserts us. He is God. 21st. He copied from the next boy. This was a mean and dishonest action. It brought disgrace upon him. He was punished for it. 22nd. There was another farmer. He was a particular friend of my master. He lived hard by. He came on a visit to my house. His intention was to inquire into the truth of the story. 23rd. The gas in the mine exploded violently. About 200 men were working in the mine. Nearly all of them met death. Only 13 escaped. Page number 430. 24. It was sunset. I was leaning on the gate. A carriage drove up. It contained a gentleman. He was of middle age. 25th. Next morning, Midas woke up. The covering of his bed had been white, but it was now turned to one of pure gold. He found this. He was astonished. 26th. He was seated on the chair. He was surrounded by his courtiers. He was then told by them to await the influx of the tide. 27th. The source of my wealth is hidden. My purpose is to avoid being questioned too closely about it. So I have invented this story. It is of the moon. 28th. The sale commenced. A little before that, a man elbowed his way through the crowd. He was short, broad, and muscular. He was in checked shirt. The shirt was considerably open at the bosom. 29th. There were two travellers. One of them was an old man. The other was in the prime of life. They passed the night at the little town of Lucerne. It was a capital of the Swiss state of that name. 30th. I tried to finish the work in time. I put in my best efforts for this. Sometimes I worked even for 10 hours a day, yet I failed. I am sorry for this. 31st. Robert Bruce was King of Scotland. He was defeated by the English. He was defeated 6 times. He gave up all hope of success. One day he sat in his house. The house was lonely. He was sad. 32. I was highly pleased with the boy. He had done a noble deed, so I gave him a book. It was very interesting. It was also full of pictures. 564. Several simple sentences may be converted to a compound sentence with the help of coordinating conjugations. First, Ram was present, Shyam was present, Mati was absent, dash, Ram and Shyam were present, but Mati was absent. Second, he is poor, he is honest, he is also intelligent. Answer, he is poor, but he is honest and intelligent. Third, the teacher was not there, the servants were not there, they know nothing. Answer, neither the teacher nor the servants were there, and so they know nothing. Fourth, you may agree, you may refuse, I shall certainly try to win. My honor depends on it. Answer, you may agree or refuse, but I shall certainly try to win, for my honor depends on it. Fifth, I could not carry out his orders. I did not inform him of my inability in time, so he was displeased with me. Answer, he was displeased with me, for I could not carry out his orders and did not inform him of my inability in time. Sixth, he is a rich man. He did not earn his wealth. He does not appreciate the value of money. He spends it recklessly. Answer, he is a rich man, but as he did not earn his wealth, he does not appreciate the value of money and spends it recklessly. Seventh, I was not present at the time. I have heard about the matter. This is a serious affair. I consider it my duty to report it to you. Answer, I was not present at the time, but I have heard about the matter, and as it is a serious affair, I consider it my duty to report it to you. 8th, he went to Darjeeling. His brother also went there. I often met them at the mall. We walked together. Answer, not only he but his brother also went to Darjeeling, where I often met them at the mall, and we walked together. 9th, I am very much worried. Ram has not come. Jatin has not come. All my things are with them. Answer, neither Ram nor Jatin has come, so I am very much worried, for all my things are with them. 10th, he stood first in the examination. He had been ill before. This was certainly a great credit for him. It deserves all praises. Answer, he had been ill before the examination, yet he stood first in it, which is a great credit for him and deserves all praise. Page number 431. 11th. I went to your father. He received me kindly. He promised to help me. He also kept the promise. Answer, I went to your father, who received me kindly and not only promised to help me, but also kept the promise. 12th. He was a very sorry. 12th. He has a very bad health. He lives very carefully. It is inexplicable to the doctor. He told me this. Answer. He lives very carefully, yet he has a very bad health, and he told me it was inexplicable to the doctor. 13th. We would have entered the dark cave. We would have thoroughly explored its inner parts. We had no torches. We were forced to give up the attempt. Answer. We would have entered the dark cave and thoroughly explored its inner parts, but we had no torches and were therefore forced to give up the attempt. 14th. The king was asleep. The villains saw this. They made signs to one another. They rose up at once. They drew their swords. Their purpose was to kill him. Answer. When the villains saw the king asleep, they made signs to each other, and rising at once, drew their swords with the purpose of killing him. 15th. Once a beautiful flower put its head out from the grass. I saw the notice board. It was very sorry for the children. It slipped back into the ground again. It then went off to sleep. Answer. Once a beautiful flower put its head out from the grass, but when it saw the notice board, it was so sorry for the children that it slipped back into the ground again and went off to sleep. Exercise 84. Combine each set of simple sentences into one compound sentence. First, Ram is a student of this school. Kareem also is a student of this school. Second, you may accept the offer. You may refuse it. Third, I did not know anything of it. My brother also did not know anything of it. Fourth, things seemed pretty bad. He continued to fight. Fifth, he is strong. He is powerful. He is kind. He never harms anybody. Sixth, he comes to school regularly. He is docile. He can never answer any question. Seventh, you must pay the price. You must return the goods. I cannot afford to lose the money. Eighth, a brave and honest man will speak out. He will not be afraid of the consequences. A timid man may keep silent in the time of danger. He may tell falsehoods. He is afraid of some harm coming. Ninth, the gardener was old. He came from the next village. He planted some apple trees in my uncle's gardens. All of them were on the side border. 10th, I got his letter a few days ago. I went to him. He desired me to help him. He was my sincere friend. 11th, the sun rose. He still sat upon the ground. He was weeping. His neighbors came. They heard the story. They laughed at him for a fool. 565. Two or more simple sentences may be combined into a single complex sentence in any of the following way. A. By using a noun clause. First, he is ill. It is known to all. Answer. That he is ill is known to all, or it is known to all that he is ill. Second, he has come. We know it. Answer. We know that he has come.